So in today's episode, we're talking about your home search. Where to find these homes. Hi, my name is Elize Hill.
I'm Nyce.
And we are real estate agents and novice homeowners and investors here to share our tips and tricks and the things we learn along the way with you. So there are two ways to find these homes. We have the public market and the shadow market.
Yeah, that's right. Now, shadow inventory sounds like a scary term, but really it just means everything that is going to be available for sale but is not public knowledge. There's everything that is publicly available, right,
So before we get carried away and talking about the shadow market, let's talk about the public market.
Really, when we say public, what we're referring to is the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. This is where all the different brokers have put together their listings into one database. Now, this is not a national database, it's actually regional, so depending upon where you are in the country, you're going to have a different MLS than your neighbor. When you're first getting started, what you're going to do is meet with your agent, and your agent is going to take down all of your criteria that we had discussed in prior episodes, and they're going to plug that information into the MLS. And what it's going to do is spit out a list of all of the homes that meet your criteria.
And this list is going to be updated automatically whenever a new house that meets your criteria launches.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Does that mean that every agent out there is kind of just sitting back and waiting for matches to land in their emails?
So unfortunately, there are agents who do just that. But if you want someone who's going to work more proactively for you,
then you're going to need to talk about the shadow inventory. Now, a lot of agents don't know how to do this because they lack the connections or the information needed in order to pursue these. I'm going to discuss 6 with you today, but your agent may only know a few of these, or they may know some others, in which case, leave us a comment. I'd love to add to my list.
So Daniel, what are these 6 ways that we can access the shadow inventory?
Well, just listing them briefly, we have short sales, foreclosures, court-ordered sales, something I call pickpocketing, which is basically my agent network. I'll go into more depth on that. We have looking at expired, withdrawn, or canceled listings. And then finally, we have good old-fashioned prospecting.
So briefly, can you explain short sales?
A short sale is whenever you find a seller that is able to sell his house for less than what he owes the bank. So say he owes the bank $300,000, but the most he could sell it for is $250,000. That's a short sale. Something like that is anything but short, so do bear in mind that it could take like 6 months to get all the necessary approvals from the bank to actually have that move forward. But on the bright side, you typically get a screaming good deal on a house like that. So if you're an investor, short sales might interest you.
So if you're an investor, another place to look is a foreclosure.
Right, so foreclosures are almost the same thing. The only difference is that there's enough equity in the house that the seller is going to walk away with some money in their pocket. So imagine the same scenario. Perhaps the man owes $300,000, but maybe he's made some improvements on the house or the market has appreciated and he's able to sell it for $350,000. Well, in a case like that, he's walking away with some money. He's not selling it short, so we just call that a foreclosure.
And what's the third thing on the list, Daniel?
The third category, Elise, is going to be court-ordered sales. There's a lot of reasons why someone might be ordered by the court to sell their house. For example, a divorce situation, probate when someone passes away, or even if you have failed to pay your association dues, such as the HOA or the condominium association. In such cases, the associations can take you to court and force the sale of your property in order to be recouped the money that is due them. Let's talk about the fourth option.
So the fourth option is pickpocketing. And in order to explain that, let's first talk about what a pocket listing is. A pocket listing is when an agent has a signed agreement that they are going to sell the house, but just not yet. Going to launch, that has not yet launched, but it's in their pocket.
And why might they not have started marketing it yet?
One of the reasons could be that the seller is still renovating the house, additional updates or whatnot, or the timing just isn't right and they're going to be living there for a few more months. So in order to know about those listings, your agent's going to have to talk to all of the other agents in the area to find out if they have anything coming up. If your agent has a large enough network, they'll be able to pickpocket other people. If your agent has a large enough network, if your agent has a large enough network, they can pickpocket.
Pickpocket the pocket listings. Pickpocket the pocket listings. Pickpocket the pocket listings.
If your agent has a large enough network, they'll be able to pickpocket other agents' pocket listings.
You did it. That was it. You just say it with a period at the end.
So if your agent has a large enough network, they'll be able to pickpocket other agents' pocket listings. The fifth source is going to be canceled, withdrawn, and expired listings. These are all examples of homes that had failed to sell. These are all examples of homes that have failed to sell. fail to sell. Hello?
Stop saying sale.
I
Say
don't know
sell.
why. These are all examples of homes that have failed to sell recently. Your agent should be able to send you a list of them. Just go through the list and simply tell your agents if there's something that you like. Your agent can then reach out to the sellers and ask them if they're still interested in selling. And finally, we have good old-fashioned prospecting. Now, these examples can include door knocking, calling neighborhoods. If you can narrow your search to 2 to 3 neighborhoods, this can be a great strategy. Your agent can then call or door knock those neighborhoods to find a willing seller.
And that concludes how we access the shadow inventory. We've got 6 different ways of doing it. If you know another one or if you have questions, please comment below.
And subscribe. Next week we'll be talking about touring homes.
And everything that you need to consider when you're inside the home to make the most of your time when you're touring it. Thanks so much. I'm Dan.
And I'm Elize, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. We did it, babe.